Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Chris Chan Quickie article because today, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be in many ways. I know it goes under the title Snoology by user PsychoNerdo54. However, because the majority of this article is going to be talking about Fiona, that's kind of why I've titled the video as we have. And out of people we haven't quite covered to date yet, Fiona I feel like is sort of she's only interesting to a point where she's sort of involved in the nonsense that happens with Bella, but apparently this is credited as an essay, and even though it has been completed and is subject to change in the future, let's see exactly from a certain person's perspective about what we can learn, shall we? Introduction to Fiona, to Chris. According to Fiona, she first became aware of Chris through the YouTuber Deadwing Dork, who mentioned Chris time and time again. She claimed that she began researching him out of curiosity, first feeling disgusted by him, a feeling that persisted and conflicted with the crush she later developed. Fiona later formed a more serious interest in Christery in the July of 2020, watching Gino's documentary series and reading articles from this wiki extensively. The Quickie Discord server. Sometime later, Fiona joined the Quickie Discord server. While she was there, Fiona was noted for her seemingly obsessive attraction to Chris. Fiona had tried to interact with Chris as far back as October of 2020, sending a drawing she made of Nightstar to him via his phone number. Though she received no response back from Chris, more than a week later, Fiona, under the YouTube account Awesome Awesomeness, had tried to interact with Chris in a live stream to get a response from him with regards to the drawing. When Anaxius was notified of this, he decided that the best course of action would to simply warn her through a DM, deeming her a valuable member of the Quickie Discord server. Due to Fiona's attempted communication, the Watchman, Val, had tried to face dox Fiona, Klopp, and Anaxis, both being mods of the Quickie server at the time. Went through this, with the later telling Val about the conversation he had with Fiona and saying that there was no need to post a link to her YouTube account. Val simply told the both of them to fuck off afterwards. While she was on the server, Fiona was warned numerous times about not interacting with Chris, specifically whenever she mentioned her desire to do so. Fiona left the server on the 28th of October 2020 due to conflicts that arose from her leaking personal messages she had with mods to trolls, and she got banned from the server afterwards. She came back under an alternative account on the 13th of December of that year, which also got banned. Interactions with Chris. Despite all the warnings she had received, Fiona persisted and would officially begin interacting with Chris somewhere between June and July of 2021. One of the interactions was Chris promising to her that he wouldn't freak out at any Generation 5 My Little Pony toys he might come across at Everfree Northwest. Another one of these interactions was Chris singing a song to her. Much of their other interactions involved Chris giving dating advice to her. In the conversation, Fiona also gave Chris personal details, something which some of his gal pals doxed. Fiona had also sent a photo of herself to Chris, which Chris later shared with the WCT in a chat introducing her. Chris and Fiona also had interactions over the app FaceTime. A handful were recorded by Fiona, which included her and Chris blowing kisses at each other. Chris miming eating an apple as Fiona watches, and Chris twirling his hair. Fiona has also alleged that she once showed herself topless to Chris, which aroused him. However, despite being attracted to her, Chris also didn't perceive having a long-term relationship with Fiona due to her living in Washington, and believed that she would wind up finding a lover when she went to college. Due to this, Chris stressed the importance of encouraging her and boosting her self-confidence to find a long-term sweetheart at her college, believing himself to be some sort of mentor for her. At various points, Chris mentioned being in an open relationship with Fiona and his lady friend, Bob, basically. Chris also stated in a text message having sex with Fiona would be the right step for her to take for her mental and emotional development. How and why, I have no idea. Despite this, he also had stronger feelings for Bella and already had sex with Bob by this point, indicating that the boundaries of his love quest had been widening, even before his incest with Bob was discovered. Now, you may be saying to yourself, guys, actually, to be honest, that's about it, really, as far as it goes. Yes, this does come under the title of Snoology, but I also would just like to say for the moment that that's unfortunately a little bit of, well, the problem I kind of have with at least the later stages of talking about Christy is when um even characters like Fiona who pop up, and if their intention was to troll Chris in whatever way, it clearly didn't come across that way. And also, I don't really feel like we have anything more to say. Whatever Fiona is up to right now, I think it's fair to say it's probably for the best that she took a big step away from this. But again, why anybody would be encouraging to interact with Chris, I genuinely don't know, and I don't think we will ever have sufficient evidence to tell us why we should be advised to know. But with all that being said and done, I hope all of you guys enjoyed this short but poignant little, it's a little piece to the puzzle, if you will, and I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.